In the mid-20th century, with the rise of the suburbs and automobile culture in the United States, a new style of shopping center was created away from downtown cores. And with it came the Mallrats, the subject of this week's episode. The suburban shopping center evolved into what became the mall shortly after World War II. With a booming economy, young parents needed to buy stuff for their sprawling suburban homes, and kids needed a place to hang out with their friends, shopping agenda or not. By the mid-century in America, the mall mattered. Families spent entire Saturdays at the mall. Kids gathered in arcades and at the food court with their friends, and miscreants like T.S. and Brody staked their territory in the vast expanses in the halls of consumerism. I worked at Northtown Mall in Spokane for about 2 years when malls as we knew them were on their last breath of glory. Northtown boasted a movie theater, a Sam Goody, several anchor department stores, a Cinnabon around the corner from the store I worked, and kids like Brody who were from store to store without a shopping agenda, something that bothered me as it did Shannon. One of the earliest examples of a mall was the Valley Fair Shopping Center in Appleton, Wisconsin that opened March 10, 1955. Valley Fair featured central heating and cooling, a large outdoor parking area, semi-detached anchor stores, and restaurants. Later that year, the world's first fully enclosed shopping center was opened in northern Sweden and named Shopping. The region now comprises the highest shopping center density in all of Europe. The concept of a regionally sized, fully enclosed shopping complex was pioneered in 1956 by Austrian-born architect Victor Gruen, who has been named one of the most influential architects of the 20th century. The first retail complex to be promoted as a mall was Paramus, New Jersey's Bergen Mall. And with all Kevin Smith movies, Mallrats takes place in New Jersey, a state that has become synonymous with malls. Bergen featured an open-air format when it opened in 1958, but was enclosed in 1973. Early malls moved retail away from the dense commercial downtowns into the suburbs, where land was cheaper, more plentiful, and perceived safer than downtown areas. And this formula became the way to build retail space around the world, including here in Houston. Today, I am at the Pasadena Square Mall, a once thriving mall that has kind of succumbed to the retail environment that we have all heard about, that I will talk about later. But this, I can tell, in its heyday was such a fun space. During my walk around the mall, I made a few friends and I admired the really unique sculptures that this mall boasts. And in its day, it did have a Sears that way, the food court was that way, and it looked like there was another department store behind me. So Gruen himself came to abhor this effect of his new creation. He described malls as land-wasting areas of parking amid the spread of suburban sprawl. In the US, developers like A. Alfred Taubman extended the concept further in 1980 with terrazzo tiles, of which this mall features, indoor fountains, which I think probably at one point this did have an indoor fountain, and 2 levels so shoppers could make a circuit of all of the stores from top to bottom. Taubman believed carpeting increased friction, therefore slowing customers down, therefore it was removed. Fading daylight through glass panels was supplemented by gradually increased electric lighting, making it seem like afternoon was lasting longer, which encouraged shoppers to stay. And I do see this mall did have a series of skylights, and it brings in some natural light, but it is supplemented with some lighting that probably did keep shoppers here longer. And many malls have declined considerably throughout North America, particularly in subprime locations like the dirt mall Brody and TS were forced to go to after being thrown out of the mall by LaForge. By the mid 1990s, malls were still being constructed at a rate of 140 per year. But in 2001, a PricewaterhouseCoopers study found that underperforming and vacant malls, known as gray fields, were an emerging problem. Fast forward to 2007, 1 year before the Great Recession, and no new malls were built in America for the first time in 50 years. And malls began to lose consumers to open air power centers and lifestyle centers as consumers preferred to park in front of and walk into big box stores that had lower prices typically than the malls. The days of cruising the mall with or without a shopping agenda, meeting friends, buying an Orange Julius, and spending hours at the arcade were gone. At the heart of the problem was the growth-focused commercial real estate industry that had built too many places to shop, far more than could reasonably justified by the growth of the American population, retail sales, or any other reliable economic indicator. And of course, we can decry online shopping as another nail in the coffin to brick and mortar retail. The convenience and speed of online retailers to deliver a product, sometimes the same day, is too much to resist for most consumers, myself included. A common joke in our household whenever a package arrives is this your Amazon or mine? And what we have delivered used to be curated through a specific shopping agenda. A coat for the kid, a birthday present for your bestie, new shoes for you, dinner, a movie, then maybe some ice cream. My dad would always wait out my mom's shopping agenda at Sears, where he could watch the wall of TVs, browse the tool section, then enjoy a snack at the food court, most likely Orange Julius. By 2013, roughly 1 in 6 malls across the US were going out of business. Then COVID hit and turned the world upside down. Government regulations temporarily closed malls, increased entrance controls, and imposed strict social distancing standards. So what does the future of the mall and the Mallrats who roam it hold? Well, I would like to compare Pasadena Town Square Mall with a mall that is close to my home, Baybrook, a bustling, busy tribute to consumerism. The last time we went there, we enjoyed lunch in the food court that was packed. The halls were packed, the stores were packed. So I think it really comes down to mall owners developing an innovative approach to cultivate communities within their spaces. And I think the Pasadena Town Square Mall absolutely has potential. I would hate to see this place be torn down. What with all of the sculptures, the unique lighting fixtures, you can tell this is a special place. And malls around the country hold that same sentimentality for so many people. And the self-destructive model adopted by mall developers 50 years ago appears to have come to an end. Instead, the malls of the future will take a bigger role in both shopping and communities, no longer serving as just retail destinations, but as communities in their own right. And again, this place has that potential. I want to know how to make that happen for this space and spaces like it around the country. In the meantime, go ahead and give that subscribe button a defined shopping agenda so you never miss anything. New episodes of the Real Relationships podcast premiere every Thursday on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Of course, new episodes of this show also premiere on YouTube every Thursday. We've got a lot of great content coming up for you. We can't wait to bring you more. On that note, we appreciate your support, your listenership, your viewership. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends about us. If you don't like us, tell your enemies about us. In the meantime, we will see you soon and stay safe.